The topic basically is custom pages builder. Now, it's a very capable function, and I really want to share some of the tricks that I use myself to use this module uh, uh, to really take the personalization of the website to the next level. It's a very capable module, and it makes things a lot easier to create custom pages as well as custom share today. All right, it's very much like the newsletter, the custom newsletter function that we have. It's not just for newsletters. You can do a lot more with it. It's very capable. The same thing goes for this as well. I'd like to think of it in the same way, the custom pages. It really is a simple way to create content for your website. Now, before we begin, let me go ahead and make a quick change here. Let me go to the website design, and I want to remove the custom content that I had built before here, so we're back to our normal set. Okay, so let's go to the custom page builder. So the custom pages is straightforward. You build a page, a custom page, and add it to your website. It has two options. So it'll basically get a link, and then it will also you will also be able to label it or configure it as branded or not. When we say a branded page, that means that we have the whole website header at the top. So your logos and the rest of the menu items are going to be visible. But if it's unbranded, then the page will basically be missing that top part here. So meaning that it'll be more like a landing page where you can't really navigate away from that the page. It's just that page. So that's what we mean by branded and unbranded. So this is how the three elements, basically the title, the link, and then whether if it's branded or not, and then the rest of it is just the content of the custom page. So very simple. What we do is that we click on add new when we want to create a new custom page here. Now, once I click on add new custom page, I have a new tab opened, which provides me with the tools to create that custom page for me. Now, the first thing that I would do is to go to the page settings and put in the page title that I want to have. So what is the page that I want to create? Without this, you're not going to be able to save it. So I'm not going to put this in right now, just so that you will see the error message at the end. But this is usually the first step. So what would be the title? So for example, if it's going to be, I don't know, so let's say more custom page. So that would be the title of the page. If there's a description for the page, you could go ahead and put in the description for the page as well. Now, the page ID and the link are going to be created, so don't worry about it. And here's where I select whether the page is going to be branded or not, or the title bar is going to be visible or not. So let me show you what I mean by the title bar. So if I go to the About page, for example, this section at the top, this bar where it says About, this is called the title bar. So do you want this to be visible as well or not? So you can basically switch that on or off, and switch this one on or off. So you can basically do this and have a so this is the first thing that I would put in. Let me remove this and start again from scratch. Okay. So I haven't done the page settings now, so you'll see that I'll get an error message at the end, and that's what we need to do. But remember to do this first. All right, now the top of the section that we have here is basically the grid system. So every page has got to have its grid system, and what that means is that the number of rows and columns that you want to have the content in. So A web page is usually divided into 12 equal sections. That's why we have the 12 here. So that's a 12 unit grid. What that means is that if I pull this one to the right here, it means that I want to have a content on my page that is going to fill the entire width of that page. So this is one full column. So one full 12 unit column right here. Now, after that, I want to have, for instance, two pictures side by side. So that would be two columns in which I'll have two different sets of content. So I'm going to bring in the other option that I have here, 6 and 6. So that's 12 divided by 2. So each side or each column is going to include 6 units of the width. So that's what it means when we say 6 and 6, right? So you can then have another full column grid down here. And then let's say I want to have 3 items side by side. So this is going to be a 3 column section added down here. So this is my grid. So first, what I'll do is that I build the grid of my page. I know that I want to have one full width item and then 2 items side by side, and then another full width item, and then 3 items side by side. So these are the stuff that I want to have. So first I'm imagining my web page, and I'm imagining what it's going to be looking like, and then I'll build the grid system. You can do this as you go along as well, but you kind of usually would know what you want to be preparing anyways. So that's easy. I just drag and drop the grids that I want to make, and then the next step would be to drag and drop the elements that I want to use. So we have 9 different elements. These elements are available to the Business Master Package subscribers. The only one that's not available and is only reserved for the Lead Master Package subscribers is the property search option, which I'm going to explain to you anyways. All right, so let's say I want to have a title right here at the top. So what I need to have there is text, obviously. So I just drag and drop this into here. Now, as soon as I hover over this module that I just added, the HTML element that I just added, I will have the option to edit the HTML element. So I'll click on that, and now I can edit that. So this is the title of my service, whatever. All right, so this is what I'm going to add in here. If I want, I can, for instance, center this, and I can change the format to a level 2 heading, for example, and then I can go ahead and apply the changes. So the change would be applied here. So this is my title right there. Then I'm going to close the edit pane there. Now, the next item here is 2 columns side by side. So let's imagine that I want to have an image on one side. So I'm going to drag and drop the image over here, and then I'll have some text on the other side. So I can drag and drop the text on the other side. Now I want to change the picture here, so I can go ahead and click on the, again, I hover over the element and I can edit it. So I'll click on the edit, and now I can browse and select a picture. So let me go ahead and add a picture here. So for example, let's say this is the picture that I want to be using. And apply. So I have the picture over here. Now, you see this here? The width of the picture is 100%. So that means that the picture is going to fill the 100% of this 6 unit column right here. So this is how it is going to basically look. 100% of this 6-unit column right there. So you can change that to a smaller percentage if you want. So if I go ahead and make this 50%, now this is going to fill 50% of this unit right here. So we can basically decide what I want to do here. So let's go ahead and keep this at 100%. All right, then I can go ahead and change the items here on the left. So for instance, let's say I want to have this is, for example, there is a picture on the left, and then I would like to have this a little bit bigger, so I'll have a level 3 header right there, and just give it a little space, and then apply changes, and there. So for example, this is what our content is going to look like. So let's say I've got a little bit more content in here as well. I'll put that in there and apply changes. All right. Now on the next one, let's imagine that I want to, let's go ahead and remove this. So let's say that I don't want this one full column anymore. So I'm going to remove this. If you want to remove anything, you could just delete it. If you want to move something, you can just click on this button right there and then move it down or up. And if you want to copy it, you can also copy it, so it duplicates that section for you. So I'm going to delete this right now and delete this one as well. Now down here, I want to have, let's say, a form, a registration form in the middle down there. So I didn't want to have a big, fat, wide form. That's why I selected a 3-column section so that I can only use the middle column, for example, here. So now I'm going to use the form right here and add it in there. Oops. It has to go right there. Sorry. Okay. So I put the form right here where people can register, for example. Now, let's say that I also want to add 2 videos now here at the top. So let's go ahead and add another column. This one is going to be, let's say, I'm going to have another, let's have another 3-column section. I will place that right here, and I want to add videos. So let's go ahead and add the video here. So that's 1 video, that's 2 videos. A little tricky. Oop, there we go. That's 3 videos. So I have 3 videos in there. Let's go ahead and edit the video. What you would need to have is the URL for the video that you want from YouTube. So let me go ahead and select the URL that I want. All right, so I'll just copy the URL and paste it right here. Now, again, you have the option to make the width here 100%. So it is going to fill 100% of this 3-unit column right there. So you apply the changes there. So that would be my first video. Then I can go ahead and select the second video. and I would like to edit this one. It's fairly simple to do that. So click on the edit, paste the URL. So I pasted the URL right there, and I'll make the width 100%. And then I'll have the third video right there. So I'll take the third video, edit, paste the URL, 100%. So now I have my title, my content, some videos in here, and then I even have a registration form which is already connected to my CRM. Now, let me also show you how to configure the registration form here. So if we go to the configuration right there, it's very simple to configure that. So you have these fields available: first name, last name, phone, and message. Now, do you want to have any one of these visible or not? So for example, if you don't want to get the phone number, you could just take this out. So it's not there anymore. And you can also basically specify whether the item is going to be required or not. So for example, I can remove this one. I need the first name and last name. The email address has to be there anyways because that's an integral part. So there's no option to remove the email address. It's always there and required. So that's something that you're not going to be taken out, but the rest of the stuff you can. And then I can also specify the tag name that I want to have. So if someone fills out this form, the contact information is going to be added to my contact manager. So it'll be added to my contact manager right there automatically. I can also tag that contact so I know where they came from. So I want to call this one custom page. So I know that if someone registers from here, the contact that's created in my contact manager is also tagged as custom page. So I know that the person has registered, that registration has happened from this landing page that I'm creating right here. So I can apply the changes. So now we have a form in here as well. Okay, now, and save. Now it's saved it. So if I go back here to the other tab and refresh, I have cool custom page right there with a link, page/cool custom page. So that's my link right there. So what I will do now is that I'm going to copy this link. So I copy this link /page/cool custom page, and I want to add this to my website now. It's already there, but you would have to know the link in order to be able to go to that page. So what I'm going to do right now is that I'm going to add this to my website structure. So I'll go to the website config. I'll go to the main menu over here, and I can add a menu item. So this is going to be cool. Sorry about that. Cool page. And I'm going to paste the URL that I just copied from the other end over here, /page/cool custom page. So I can add that. So now I have the cool page here. I'm going to add this to the right and save this. All right. Now let's check out the website. Refresh. Now I have the cool page right here. I'm going to click over it, and there it is. I've got the videos.
Everything's the original here.
I've got the form. Everything is in place. So that was easy. You can easily make pages like this for your website, and you can see that it's pretty easy to use the drag and drop options and everything. If I want to make a change, I can go ahead and make the changes as well. So let's say I want to have a button right here. So let's go ahead and add a button. So I'm going to add the button right there, sorry, down here. And let's go ahead and edit the button. All right. Now, the button has got several different elements to choose. So basically, the label, what it says on the button. So we're going to say, let's say, contact me. And then we have a link. So I'm going to remove this. I want to use the link. So what's going to be the link? You can see all the links to your pages right here. So for example, I want that to go to my contact page. So my contact page is right here. That's the link right there. So I can copy this and I can go back here and say, all right, so if someone clicks on contact me, it's going to take me to /contact. You don't need to have your entire domain here. You just need the internal page to be mentioned right there. Now we can also change the styles. Okay, so the styles are pretty much it's some you don't have to worry about the naming of these styles. These are, you know, the style, the color, and the looks of the button that's going to be determined by that. So if I go to, let's say, success, it will look like a green button like that. If I select warning, it'll be like a yellow button like that. If I go to danger, that's going to be red. So select the style that you want. You can also select the size. So if I wanted this to be a large button, you can change that. Now you can also select whether you want the button to be active, disabled. So that's disabled, they can't click on it. It's active, it's like it's already been hovered over, or if it's blocked. So basically what I want to do is I want to make it a block so that it fills the entire width here. You can also add custom width, height, font size, etc. So you can add these in pixels and make it a custom size for yourself. But it's best to use the default options because it'll look the same as the rest of the buttons on your website. And then I can go ahead and apply. So now I have a button in here as well. I can save this. And then if I go to my cool page, there's a button in here now. So if someone clicks on this, it's going to take them to the contact page. Like that. Now let me show you another trick here. So let's imagine I want to click on this button and then it would jump down here for the registration. Okay, so basically this is what I'm going to be doing. Let's go into, all right, so the first thing that I need to know is the ID of this section on my website. So let's go ahead and edit this. You see here, it has an ID. This is a unique ID. It's the ID of this section. So I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to edit this button right here. Now, let's change this to register. The link is going to be hashtag that ID. So you need to put in a hashtag right there at the beginning and then paste that ID right there. So let's go ahead and apply changes, save, and I'll go to my page again. So now it says register now. As soon as I click on it, it'll jump down to this section of the website. You see that? So if you have a longer page and you want people to jump down to the bottom section, you just put in the hashtag with the ID of that section. As soon as I click on this, it'll jump down to the bottom. Just like that. So it makes things a lot easier right there. So now you know a couple of cool tricks in order to make a nice page with some call to actions. All right. Now, let's imagine that I want to include some listings here as well. So let me just go back here, check out my listing manager. Let me add a bunch of listings to my listing manager. Let's just go to search. I'm just going to add a bunch of listings. Oops, where were we? All right. Right here. Add new. Add the MLS number, and there we are. So we've added a bunch of listings to my listing manager. All right. So let's go ahead and go back to my custom page. Now, I want to show a few listings in the middle right here. So first, what I need to do is to bring in my grid. So one full column. Now I want to use the listings module right there. Your listings will load here. So this is your listings, stuff from your listing manager. So that's why I added listings to my listing manager first. So what I'll do now is I'm going to configure this. All right. So now it says, okay, so what what listings would you like to include here? The ones that are featured or not? Let me go here in my listing manager, whether they're featured or not. So you can decide, I want to use, any, whether it's featured or not, I don't care. No, or I just want the ones that are featured on my homepage to be included here. You can also decide whether you want to change the type or not. Do you want to include only the condos, the residentials, the commercials, or any one of the properties that are featured, for example? You can select the style, for example. Is it detached? Is it townhouse? Is it apartments or whatever? So I'm going to include all, for example, right here. What type of transaction do you want to include? The sales, the leases. So you can also filter in those areas as well. Also the status, is it active or is it sold, right? So this is the status of the transaction that you want to include. You can also break it down by city, by minimum price, by maximum price, and you can also limit the number of properties that are loaded here. So I'm going to say that I would like to limit the number of properties that are loaded here to, let's say, sorry, where were we? To 6. So I don't want more than 6 properties to load in this section. So the top 6 are going to be loaded. You can also specify a specific tag. So you might have added properties here, and you have a specific tag that you want to include right there as well. So for example, if I have a certain tag applied to these guys, I can specify that over here. All right, and then let's go ahead and apply the changes. So the listings are not going to show here, but if I'm going to save this, and if we go to the page, now we have the listings here as well. 6 of these properties have shown. And we have this here as well. So if I click on register now, it goes all the way down. So the properties are included like this. if I want to have a header right there, I can have it in the same column as well if I want to. Yep. So I can go ahead and edit this and say cool listings. Center, H2, apply, save, refresh. There we go. So now you can see that you can really be creative here. You can add certain properties and then tag them and then use those properties, those specific properties on your landing page right here. So for example, I can create a landing page for properties that are good for builders to consider, for example. I can select them, add them to my listing manager, tag them as builders, and then use them here on this landing page so that when I'm promoting my ad for builders, they can come to this landing page and I'm going to say, all right, so this is where I'm finding specific properties that would be interesting for builders or people who are considering flipping the property. And that's a service that I provide. These are some of the properties that I have found right here. You like these? Come back here. You want to be the first to know about them? Register here. So this is how you generate leads. This is how you provide value. Enough of all the small, the regular cliche that everybody is advertising out there. Free home valuation is gone. It's something that requires a lot more upfront and personal level of interaction for some proper lead generation. But these kind of things nobody is doing out there, and you can easily go ahead and create services like that and make the landing page like that. You can easily build that and you can easily update it, and then all I need to do is to add properties and tag them, and it will automatically appear right here. And I have a live, usable, valuable landing page that I can then start advertising for on Facebook, on Google, on other social media, etc. All right. So one more thing that I want to show you that you can use for this. Now, there's also the property search function. It's very similar to this, but let me just quickly go ahead and add that here. So I added another column. And I have the property search here. Now, it's very similar. The difference is that it's not looking at your listing manager. It's just doing a search. So, for example, I can say that I would like to show residential properties in the city of, let's say, Richmond Hill. Richmond Hill. You can even select a community if you want to. Or even a postal code, minimum price, maximum price. I want to limit it to, let's say, 12 properties. Minimum price, $1 million. Maximum price, $1.3 million. And I want the styles to be detached, for example. So let's go ahead and apply changes here. Close this, save, and let's refresh the cool page. These are the properties. So the property search is working just like that. How cool is that? Integrated landing page with all the functions that you want. Okay. Now let me show one more cool trick. and then we'll call it the day. Let me close this one and then use this. So let's go to the page, to my home page. So let's imagine I want to add something on my home page, a custom section on my home page. So let's imagine that I want to add one of my videos here. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go to custom pages. I'm going to click on add new, and I'll select my divider, so my grid system. So there's going to be a video here, and there's going to be some text on the right. Let's go ahead and change this. My cool video. I'll make this a H2. Give it a little bit of a space. Apply changes and my description, whatever. I'm going to add my video in here as well. So where were we? Okay, edit, put in the video in there. Width is 100%. Apply changes. Now I have my video in there as well. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click save, but I'm not going to actually save this as a custom page. I don't need that to be a page. This is a custom section on my home page. So all I needed was this code. It actually generated the code for me. So I'm going to copy the code. That's all I need, the code. And I'm going to go to my web design, website config, and I'm going to go to the sections. And let's say I want to change section 2. I'll just paste the code right there. And I'll save it. So section 2, if I go to the home page, section 2 is right here after the call to action items. So let's check out the website now. So it should appear right after these call to actions. So if I refresh, there it is. That's my video, my cool video. So I've added a custom section right there. Now, if I want to move this to come and stay right between the new developments and the featured properties, for example, all I need to do is to move custom section 2 between these two areas and save it. So now, if I go ahead and refresh, right between these two, I've got my cool video. So very easy, you can add custom content here. So for example, if you have a playlist on your YouTube that you update regularly, embed that playlist in here and have it featured on your homepage, and then go ahead and create new videos and then post them to your playlist, and that's it. All you need to do is to have your video featured on your the homepage of your website. So what I did is I used the page builder to give me custom code without me having to know a single word of coding to create the custom code and then use it on the custom section of my website. And then I can go ahead and discard this. I don't need this, right? I just needed the code. I got it. I used it here in the section, and now I have a custom section right there. All right. So that's another cool trick that I wanted to share with you. All right. Now let's take a look at the couple of questions that we have. All right. So the first question is from Stark Sold It. So could you address today if using a website as a team, is there an option to add both agents' contact information? Yes, there's an option to add both agents' contact information. So unfortunately, the agent, well, basically when you're using the system as a team, for a team, basically, it could be a tag team, as I like to call them, a team of 2 agents, or it could be a team of more. But anyways, the account is created for the team, and the team has got its own entity usually, and that means that the team has got its own phone number, the team has got its own email address, the team has got its own website address. So it's own entity, and those are the stuff that we want to promote around the website. But usually when it comes to a tag team, for example, if you have 2 agents using the website, you're not going to go as far as creating a team entity, and you want to be able to individually promote both agents right there. And you would need to add, for example, another phone number on top of here. Now, it's not a function that we have in the system for you to add it. It needs to be customized, and it's a very simple way of customizing. We need to change a CSS code right here in order to add that second basically phone number, for example, at the top right there. So you can definitely get in touch with us, and or if you have support within your brokerage, we do provide these content to them so that they are going to be able to help you generate that. But you can definitely get in touch with us, and we'll add that for you. I'll just quickly demonstrate this here if I can find the code. The size, there we go, for example. And we will implement the code for you. So if I go ahead and say agent 1, 416 123 1234, and then agent 2, 647 123 1234, and then save that. Then if I go to the website, you can see that that has been replaced here. So these are, ways of customization. They would require knowledge of code there. So if you get in touch with us and let us know what you need to say up here, then we're going to be able to add this for you into the system, or we can even send the code directly to yourself, so you can basically do this yourself. So it's things like that we can do. But system wise, the system is designed to represent the team, so that's why we usually go for a one entity. So for example, there's no way we can have 2 email addresses associated with the system. It's got to be one email address, which is usually a shared email address between the 2 of you. Now, the next question would be, how would you advertise a landing page on Facebook? So it's a Facebook ad. So you have a landing page, and so the cool landing page that we made. So now we have a landing page here. It's got a URL, right? So what I would do is that I would go to Facebook, for example, and create an ad, and the landing page for that ad is going to be here, right? So the ad is going to say, for example, are you looking for properties in the GTA that, are you a builder looking for properties to, to rebuild, demolish and rebuild in the GTA? Click here. And then once they click there, they're going to bring them over to this landing page. Now, let me also quickly show you something here. Let's go to the custom pages. This is the one that we built. I'm going to edit this again. Now, on the page settings, I'm going to say that this is not going to be branded, and it's not going to have the title bar. Let's save this now. All right, now you can see the landing page is more standalone. They can't navigate away on your website and go to other areas on the website. All they would need to, all they can see is this. And they would have to register to get that service, for example. Okay. So yeah, so you can advertise on Facebook, you can advertise on Google, you can even advertise on the back of a flyer, right? So you can register a domain says, which is like something like, I don't know, renovate a home in willowdale.com, and then have a landing page assigned to that, and then have it mailed out to the builders that you have the physical address to. So the channel of advertising can be various. It could be a billboard, right? It could be a magazine ad, it could be a Facebook ad, it could be a direct mail, it could be an unaddressed mail. So it could even be a rider on your lawn sign looking for more properties like this. Go to blah 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 blah, and then people would go there and land on that page for you right there. So don't always limit yourself to Facebook and Google. They're great, but there are also many other avenues of advertising as well. So all you need is basically this URL in order to use in your ad, so you can go ahead and advertise that too. The next question is from AQ. So when adding my custom website, yeah, hosting it also. So this website that comes with Remarketer is also hosted with us. So you do not need to keep your hosting provider. That can definitely be stopped, and this is all hosted on our servers and our end, and it's all included in your package, so you don't have to worry about hosting the website at all.
Thank you so much for watching. If you like our video, please hit the like button, the subscribe, and even the little bell to get notifications, just so you can stay in touch and watch more of these great videos.